all of you today. I'm so privileged to be able to speak with you. I want to give a huge thank you to our organizers, the dedication that they have brought to making this event possible. Would you give them a big hand? Your presence here, along with the voices of protest being lifted up all over our country today, fills me with great hope. I hope you feel it too. Yeah. In my faith tradition, we pause before we speak. So I'm going to invite us into a moment of silence. You don't have to close your eyes. You can look around. But take a moment to catch your breath, to feel your hearts beating for justice. Into this silence, we want to lift up our senator and representative and their spouses from Minnesota, those who were injured, those who lost their lives earlier this morning. We want to lift up our siblings in LA. We want to extend compassion to migrants living in fear, migrants unlawfully detained, deported, and disappeared, and their families who know the pain of separation. Into this silence, we hold our connection to people all over the country who are standing up and speaking out. May the power of this day bring us courage. Amen. Amen. I was asked to speak on behalf of the faith community, and so I'm going to do my best to represent what I believe are the perennial values and ethics shared by people of diverse faiths and people who profess no faith at all. I believe we share an imperative to honor the dignity of every human being, to love all our neighbors, to do justice, and to care for the most vulnerable. When our government acts unlawfully and denies the dignity of anyone, we must rise up. These are the principles that bind us all together. But I'm not here simply to speak on behalf of everyone. I am a United Methodist pastor and a follower of Jesus. That is my unique voice. And the current movement toward autocracy in our country has aligned itself with the values of a narrow, oppressive, pseudo-Christianity that does not represent my faith. So to quote a fairly recent country song, let me tell you about my Jesus. It may shock you, but he was not a king. He was an indigenous, brown, Middle Eastern Jewish prophet. He lived under the oppression of empire. He did not bow down to that empire, and he did not seek to resist it with the empire's tools. Just like Audre Lorde, he knew the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. In Jesus' time, just like ours, empire used the tools of fear and division and threat and dishonesty and violence. It's a form of authority imposed through force. And Jesus responded with a different kind of authority. A moral imperative built from empathy, compassion, justice, unity, nonviolence, and courage. The empire killed him for that. But the love revolution he began is alive right now. The core value of my faith is that every human being is beloved. Every human being is of inherent worth. We cannot assert the value and dignity of every human being and then build policies that value some more than others. It is not my faith. It is not the foundation of democracy. Jesus did not speak of power over others. He spoke of a love that empowers others to flourish. When asked about his ethic of care, he identified himself with the marginalized people that empire hurts first. He said, I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was a stranger, which literally means refugee, and you welcomed me. I was in prison, and you visited me. Just as you did it to one of the least of these, my siblings, you did it to me. This moment in our history demands leadership that uplifts the vulnerable rather than demonizing them. Kings and the empires they build will always speak of domination and control. They will always exploit fear of the other as a tactic to garner power for themselves. We can't let that voice drown out the voice of goodness within us, or the outcry for humanity rising up everywhere. We can't and we won't. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being brave and using your voice today. Don't quit. Go back to your families, your communities, your places of work, and continue to speak against the threats to democracy and human flourishing that are everywhere. But even more than that, don't just speak against the harm. Please speak for what you love. Live for what and who you value most. If your neighbor is in need, be the first to help. The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house, but the people together, living for the good of one another, always will.